So I spent 1 week with the Osmo Pocket, and I just want to tell you or share you my experience with it, especially when I was at CES throughout the whole week and I was walking from one place to another at the show floor. I was hotel hopping, and I just want to talk about my experience, how I used it throughout that whole week. I also brought the GH5 with me as well, and I realized I didn't really use the GH5 as much because throughout the past years I always shoot with it. I always use it to shoot the behind the scenes or some sort of cinematic vlog, but this year I just stuck with the Osmo Pocket. So this is my 4th year shooting at CES, and I want to say that the first year was rough because I had the Ronin M and a GH4, I believe, so that was a really heavy setup. The second year was a Xenon Crane gimbal, those one-handed gimbals that we all know of now. The last year I've shot with nothing. I just used GH5 and that's it. I just handheld the whole way. And this year it was the Osmo Pocket. Every year my rig is getting smaller and smaller, and I'm just doing behind the scenes stuff. I'm not capturing anything serious or anything professional. When we're at meetings, of course I would use the GH5 or the A7S for actual videos that we produce, but when we're just walking around and I just want to capture the moment, the Osmo Pocket does it really well. There were times where I left the GH5 in the car and I just took the Osmo with me, and I didn't feel as confident as I were if I were to have my GH5 with me, but then I realized how much more lighter I am, how much more compact, and my arms weren't as tired at the end of the day. So when I was shooting with just the Osmo Pocket, I know that I wouldn't be able to shoot anything as cinematic. So I just have to learn how to shoot with the wide angle lens, how to make that look cinematic. There were times where I found the Osmo Pocket much more convenient than the GH5. For example, a person trying to do a live demo, I just took out the Osmo Pocket out of my pocket, point and shoot. Whereas if I were to use the GH5, I would have to tell them to awkwardly hold on. I need to take out my camera out of my bag, turn on the camera, find focus and aperture, and then let them shoot. So by that time, it would have been too slow and I would most likely miss that moment. For battery life, it did last me throughout the whole day. Of course, I didn't keep it on 100% of the time. If I did, it would probably last me for 3 to 4 hours. But when I didn't shoot, I turn it off, and when I want to shoot, I turn it on. By the end of the day, I had about 20%, so every night I had to charge it. Now looking over these shots, it really looks like it's for someone who just wants to capture the moment. It's wide enough to do that and just to vlog. Now, it's not someone who wants to shoot something really cinematic, and if you do, you really need to learn how to use their focal length to compose for that shot, and you have to do that quite often because you're stuck with that one focal length. Now I want to talk about the things I don't like or the things that they can improve on. So throughout the day, I've been walking around turning the Osmo off and on a lot, and I've realized that the boot up time is a bit too slow for me. I feel like if it boot up faster, maybe like 1 or 2 seconds faster, it would be fine. The second thing is the screen. Every time when I look at the screen when I shoot, I also look at the borders, and I realize how much more space they still have. So I feel like they can still squeeze in a little bit more screen room. Now when I look through the footage, I realized that there were some shots where it was out of focus in the beginning of the shot, and then maybe a second or two it got back into focus, and there were some other clips where it was just out of focus and it stayed out of focus. Because the screen was so small, I could not tell what's in focus. It's great that I can tell what I'm shooting, but then it was so small that I couldn't tell what's in focus. So I wish that there was just some way to let me know what's in focus because that screen is just too small. Now this isn't a con, but it's something to realize. When you're shooting something this small, you can basically see every single movement. Especially when you're walking, you can see that slight up and down movement. Of course, the longer you shoot with this, or the longer you shoot with any gimbal, you will learn how to walk and reduce that, but because this is so small, you can still see that slight movement. So overall, I really love shooting with the Osmo Pocket. It's really small and really handy and really convenient just to capture the whole day. So if you're a vlogger and you just want to capture friends and family, this is really great to have. And moving to cinematic vlogs, if you really want to shoot something really cinematic, I would not recommend this. I would definitely just take a GH5 with a zoom lens or like a 85 or something and just get cinematic bokeh-licious shots. I think that is the biggest factor. If you really want to shoot something cinematic, I would still stick with the camera. If you want to capture the moment, capture your friends, capture memories, this is a great gimbal to have. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I have links down below with all the gear that I do use and shoot with, so go ahead and check those out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.